online trainers or coaches, they struggle because they don't provide any value. If you haven't provided the value, why is someone going to sign up with you? You've given them nothing. Being successful in like the online training space comes under 4 things. Provide as much value as you can. Provide as much social proof as you can. Having a good call to action, focusing on their pain points first, then letting them know that you have the solution to help them. Number 4 is being consistent. They post up for 2 weeks and then they stop. But I post up, every day for years and years and years and years and years. Because sometimes when people see you, they don't sign up right there and then.
Welcome back to the pod, everyone. We've got a special guest here, Josef Rakich. I'm going to let him do the honors to introduce himself and tell you what he's got going on in his world, because there's a lot. So let's dive into it, man.
Thank you very much for having me. So yeah, I do a bit of everything. I'm an online trainer. I help people get in shape through my fitness app with my custom meal plans, workout programs. I've got a software company. We build websites and we build apps for online trainers, help them essentially do what I do, grow and scale their business. I've got my Wealth Network company, which is where we help people, start a business, grow a business, and scale it online.
Excellent.
Outside of fitness, I got my supplement line, my clothing line, and a few other things along the way.
And I think it's that omnipresence to approach the business. It's not very common, especially from a small town in New Zealand.
Yeah.
Do you want to give people a little bit of the backstory? We'll go the too long didn't read version of your story into fitness and into growing a business, where you came from and how it all started.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I guess growing up, I've always been into sport. Love sport, love soccer, anything to do with physical activity I loved, except for lifting weights.
Really?
When we had gym, weights at school, I always forgot my gym clothes. Because I was a skinny kid. Yeah, that one. I was a skinny kid. I didn't like it. I was like, why would you just do this? It's pointless.
Yeah.
But yeah, didn't do too well at school. Failed, dropped out. But while I was at school, my mum won a free gym trial. She gave it to me. I went along to the gym. My mates were there. It kind of became a hangout place.
Yeah. Yep.
We weren't training. We're just mucking around. Even though we're mucking around, I guess because we're newbies, we started seeing some gains.
Of course.
Once I saw like a little bit of bicep,
It didn't stop.
I was like, this works. That's when I got, the passion for it. Not the passion, but like the interest for it. So I started learning a bit more about training and diet to try and get bigger, because I was a skinny kid.
Yep. And
started transforming my physique. The more I transformed my physique, the more I started to like it and enjoy it. And then during this time, I was working for my dad, was a delivery driver, and working in a freezer, negative 18 degrees. Fucking hated it. Worst job you could ever imagine. And I didn't really know what I wanted to do with life. I was lost. I was confused. Dropping out of school, I had no qualifications. But during that time, I established my, interest for the gym. I was enjoying it, and it became my life.
Yep.
Once I went through a decent transformation, I started putting my transformation pictures online on bodybuilding forums, bodybuilding.com. People started asking me, how did I do it? What was my diet? What was my training? I started helping people for free. During this time, I kind of learned that I like helping people with meal plans and workout programs. So, I want to be a personal trainer.
Yep.
When I got my qualifications, became a personal trainer in the gym, started doing it in the gym while doing the online stuff. And the online stuff just started getting busier and busier and busier, to a point where I eventually stopped working in the gym and just focused fully online.
Yep.
Then social media came around, like Facebook and Instagram. I was doing it before Facebook and Instagram. So I started understanding that if I wanted more clients, I had to get more eyeballs, get more exposure. And I did this through social media. So I started putting my content up, my training videos on YouTube and stuff like that, and it started growing over time. Snapchat, every platform, you name it, I was on. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years later, something that started off as an interest turned into a hobby, then became my passion, and now it's my full career.
Yeah.
And then everything I do is based around fitness in some way.
Yeah, and that's also obviously granted you and afforded you the opportunity to take that business and create different opportunity vehicles elsewhere with different businesses and so on, right?
Yep, correct.
I think that's not many people in fitness are prepared to, go all in and let it grow to a thing that can actually fuel some other things. But I think there's one thing that you mentioned there was the social media stuff, especially building into that online business profile prior to social media. It was unheard of.
Yeah.
And I think nowadays, especially coaches that are coming into the mix, or not even coaches, any service-based business, any product-based business, they have it far more, I won't say easy because it still takes a lot of work, but there is a lot more on offer. There is a lot more opportunity available than what there was back then. I think the social media game is an interesting one. Because it is a game, and I think this is where, from a business perspective, and I think this may not be a conversation that you've had, maybe, or even been asked, but I can look at your content, right, and I understand it's a business, right? I feel like a lot of people don't understand that initial that game of business is like, cool, we need to give people what they want on the front end and give them what they need later, right? It's that magnet on the front end though that really matters, that will fuel your business to growth. And I don't think a lot of coaches have really understood that, whereas you seem that from all the content that you've created, like you have understood the psychology of your customer, that you know what you need to show them to get them to give them what they need later.
Exactly. Yep.
Is that something that was planned for you?
I don't know if it was planned, but I understood it pretty early on. And I know that a lot of online trainers or coaches, they struggle because they don't provide any value. They just try and get clients. And I'm like, if you haven't provided the value, why is someone going to sign up with you? You've given them nothing. So when I'm creating content for social media, whatever platform it is, I'm trying to give as much value as possible, like overload them with value, and then it becomes easier to give them what they need. And acquire them as a client. And I honestly think being successful in like the online training space comes under 4 things. Number 1, provide as much value as you can. Go overboard with the value. Number 2, provide as much social proof as you can. Your client transformations, before and afters, maybe a screenshot in the DM where a client's like, hey, lost 5 kgs on your diet. This is amazing. Number 3 is having a good call to action, not just saying, buy my meal plan, buy my workout program, like having a good call to action. Maybe it's focusing on their pain points first, then letting them know that you have the solution to help them. And then number 4 is being consistent. A lot of people are not consistent. They post up for 2 weeks and then they stop. But I post up, every day for years and years and years and years and years. Because sometimes when people see you, they don't sign up right there and then.
Never.
But they'll see you again and again and again. And then eventually they're ready and they're like, oh yeah, I will go and join that program and get in shape.
Was there a point for you that you realized that, like, not only the paid acquisition marketing or even just organic, all the stuff from a content perspective, was there a point where you realized that, like, okay, if I double down on this actually just compounds the business, or was it just an organic circumstance that you found yourself in that you just produced heaps?
A bit of both. I knew it in the back of my head. But I've always been good at content. I have, my actual problem right now with content is I have too much content piling up. And the only way for me to get through it all is that I have to do 10 posts a day, but I don't want to be too spammy. And like tomorrow I'm filming and I'm going to have so many more videos, and I just add it to my bank, what I call it, and then post it up when I want. So I'm at a problem where I feel like I have just too much content going up. So I've never been at a point where I'm like, oh, I don't have any content, or I'm low on content. I've always had too much. Right now, I've honestly probably got maybe 80 or 100 reels I haven't even posted yet.
Is there any is there any benefit, or do you see any benefit to just like go hard on those and start, for example, following the Hormozy method, where you're taking 20 posts a day that are just on every platform? Is there any benefit to just getting them all out at once, or?
So I've thought about that. So I think there is a point of diminishing returns. So I think I do around 2 to 3 posts per day on every platform. If you post once, you don't reach enough people.
Of course.
If you post 2 times or 3 times, you reach more people. If you post 10 times, yes, you might reach more people, but then it's also spammy, and people are like, oh, fuck, this guy's annoying. And they unfollow. So you ideally, you want to put up as much as you can without crossing that line of being spam and being annoying. A way to counter that is obviously just put up good content that provides value, and it's not always sales pitchy. But I think there is a point of diminishing returns. So I think if I was to put up 10 or 20 per day, it would be more annoying than beneficial to me.
Yeah, and I think every individual business is going to find their own cap. It's going to be specific to their market, wherever they engage with, and so on.
And that's same with stories. Like, literally tomorrow, I'm purposely trying not to put anything in my story because I'm just always slamming my stories. And I've got like 20 posts up minimum in my story. And when you've got so much posts up, people don't get to the end.
Yep.
They just tap and they skip through, or they swipe to the next story. And if they take this action, Instagram recognizes that whatever's in your story is not that good. So next time this person watches their stories, your content might be at the back of their feed.
Yep.
So I think I've been too spammy with my stories.
Yeah, okay.
And I know if I only put 1 or 2 stories up, it gets 5 times the views. So, yeah, my problem is trying to pull back on the content, which I think is the complete opposite to everyone else.
Man, I think that's, again, it still shows, it shows massive, I guess, pitfalls in what people's beliefs are in business, that even at your degree that you're still having problems. Now, it might not seem like a big problem that like, okay, I have to pull back on content, but it is actually like, it is a compounding problem because if you're growing and growing, you're putting time into more filming. It's like, that time could be spent elsewhere if you don't find that way to solve how to become less spammy and how to still convert at the same rate. And I think that most people kind of just go into this game of business of like, oh, I'll just post whenever. Yeah. And like, I'll just figure it out as I go. Yeah. Do you have some sort of structure, or had you had a structure at some point?
No, that's interesting. So my business like manager and marketing guy have always tried to get me to use a structure.
Yep.
Post at a certain time, see when your posts do best perform, and post around these times, etc. Post this much times per day. I've never had a structure, and I almost feel like I perform better without a structure.
Yep.
Probably not the advice I would give to anyone else, because I think most people need a structure in order to be able to do what they need to do, get what they need to get up. But I know when I have a structure and I have to post at 8 p.m., but then I have dinner with my wife that night, we're going on a date. Oh, fuck, I got to get the post up, hold up. Like, it's just too stressful, and it becomes like work.
Yeah.
I have no problem getting content, so I've got content for years. So I just post up whenever I want, whenever I feel like.
Yep.
Could be the first thing in the morning. Could be the middle of the day. Could be while I'm having lunch. Could be 11:30 at night while I'm in bed. I don't know what I'm going to post. I just find something. I write the caption there, and then I put it up. I don't plan anything. For me, that's how I get through it, and that's what makes it most enjoyable for me.
Keeps it organic too.
Keeps it, yeah.
Especially when you're the person posting, like you don't have a team just posting the stuff for you.
Nah, it's all me. Yep.
It's got to be enjoyable. It's got to be
exactly.
Yeah. Was there a point for you, bro, like that? You obviously built this. You've built into some degree of social media fame. You've built into a business off the back of that, or even as you were going through that. Was there a point you realized like, oh fuck, I've got a business here, and I actually need to start treating it as such? I think especially people in our industry, they just serve time for money. That like you said, you're in the gym, and then took online, and you were servicing all those people online by yourself, and it's like, okay, well now I need a team, now I need people, now I need systems. What was that point where you kind of reached that?
Yeah,
like, fuck, I need to look at this as a business.
Yeah. And I think that's the biggest problem for most people. They don't look at it as a business.
Yeah.
They're just an online trainer that makes money online.
Yeah. They're just trading time for money.
Yes, exactly. So I kind of figured out pretty early on. I knew I wanted to scale, and I was doing everything manually, and I couldn't scale.
Yep.
So I went to a web company, and I asked them to build me an app. I got them to build me an app that would automate all my meal plans and all my workout programs that still keeps it 100% personalized to my clients based on what their needs. Yep. And the 2 guys at the web company that helped me develop this, they couldn't believe I was making money selling meal plans, telling people what to eat. They had no idea. Like, what the hell is this working? Anyway, they saw how much money I was making.
Yep.
And their team helped me develop the software. Then they came and they helped me out. So John, one of them, became my manager, and then basically guided me to turn this into a proper business, because I was at the same point just making money online.
Yep.
And then Ken, the other guy, became my marketing manager and started doing my marketing.
Yep.
So John, he ran the business like a business. Then we started building a team. We got a customer support guy, which was my best mate, to handle all of my emails. We got a videographer to film me, to get the content, to edit the videos. Then we started building our team out, you know. And without his help, I don't think I would have got there as early as I should have. I would have just kept making money online.
Yeah.
He really gave me that structure and helped me turn it into a business. And then he obviously pulled Ken in, which was the marketing guy that started running ads. And then we really started to scale.
Yeah. What were the bigger changes that John brought in that you were like, oh fuck, I was doing that wrong?
Yeah, I just giving it more structure. Like I had no structure. I was just kind of just hoping for the best.
Yep.
And like, then he's like, okay, what are the problems? We're getting too many emails from my clients and I'm using a lot of my time answering these emails, working in the business instead of on the business. Yep. We need to remove me. Okay, who can we get to answer these? My best mate.
Yeah.
He started answering the emails. I now do no more emails. I've got all this time.
Because it can be taught.
Yeah.
That's a task that can be taught.
Yeah.
It can be improved upon it's not tied to you. It's not like it's a call, right?
Yep.
And this is before the time of AI. You couldn't just replicate
you.
Yeah,
exactly.
Right? Like was there any other things outside of those emails that you could just say, oh, well, let's just take you out of that picture?
Yeah, well, even like filming content. Like I had to get someone in the gym to film me. Yeah. And it's a hassle for them. And so it limited the amount that I could film. Or I put it on a tripod, but it wasn't the same.
Yeah.
So, okay, how can we get around this? Get a videographer. Yeah. Can film me whenever I want. Can edit my videos.
Yep.
Just handled that. I don't know how to run ads, but I knew I wanted to run ads to bring more people in. Okay, hire a marketing guy.
Yeah.
So we just started putting all these people in place to help increase and grow the business, and it was a game changer for me. It allowed me to remove myself from the business. Instead of working in the business, I could now work on the business.
Yeah.
Growing it by getting more exposure on social media.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm really grateful for everyone that helped me out in those initial stages. Funnily enough, John and Ken don't work for me anymore at Josef Rakich Fitness, but myself, John and Ken, we started another company, which is Macroactive.
Yep.
And that is a software that built my app. We turned that into a company, Macroactive, and we now build websites and apps for other trainers, help them do what I do, and then we clip the ticket.
Yeah, so you essentially took that model that you asked them to build for you and like white labeled that to now make it accessible for
everyone else.
And rather than competing against everyone else, you now just can go conglomerize the market and go, well, rather than try and catch me, let me just show you how I did it.
Yep.
Use the system and rather than charge 100 people $5,000 to give them the system, you can just take a percentage of everyone, of every transaction, and it's like off every client. It makes far more sense from scale.
Far more sense, yep. And yeah, that's how it all kind of panned out. And now John and Ken are full-time Macroactive.
I think there's something there to highlight as well, that you mentioned that you just hired a managing person internal, right? You hired a videographer internal.
Yep.
Rather than going out to a media agency or a marketing agency where you're now having to pay for a skill set that you don't have or understand. You're going to have, let's say back then, would have this been maybe 5 years ago?
Yeah, 10 plus years.
10 years? Okay, like marketing agencies would have probably been charging $5,500 a month.
Yep.
Right? That's budget that you could have very easily just put into the ad spend.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Now, instead of just $5,500 to just throw away, you can have someone come in. You now own that IP, own the way they use it, own the way they do it, and you can control every portion.
Exactly, yep.
And I think that's for a lot of business owners, they're so scared to just save up enough capital so they can hire the right person rather than find someone else that is spread thin. Like an agency, man, they're going to have 100 clients, 200 clients.
Yes,
and they don't understand your brand, your marketing, your business. Whereas in your case, you had someone that could go, hey, I actually understand what we're trying to do here. I understand you as a person. I understand your brand. Let's just go.
They were in-house. They could see everything and understand it fully, and that's all they did.
Yep.
These marketing agencies, they're too widely spread.
Yeah, yeah.
And, if you pay them a retainer rate, sometimes it's not even about the return that they get.
No.
Because there's no incentive for them sometimes,
And also, they're all in complete control.
Yeah.
They could essentially tank your ad spend or change one thing that if you don't understand the metric, that you're now tied to them, that you need them to keep getting your leads. Whereas like in your case, you could actually just, sweet, hourly rate, salary base, off we go, and make sure the lead flows well. Do you still have a finger on the pulse and all that stuff of like how many lead flows are coming through, or is that all managed by the team now?
For the most part, it's managed by the team.
Yep.
And then most of my focus is just trying to get more exposure, build more awareness.
Yep.
And then my team handles the back end or the remarketing, the retargeting,
Yep.
And doing all that.
Is that something that like you struggled with to like relinquish that control as you grew? Because like with scale comes complexities, as we know. Like the bigger it gets, the harder it is to stay across all this and have a finger on the pulse on everything. But I think on a smaller scale, at least for myself, and I speak from experience here, that when we kind of scaled to a point where I started to outsource stuff, I had this like control complex where I was like, fuck, I still need to see. Still need to see what's going on. I need to understand. Did you struggle with that at all?
A little bit, yes. Sometimes it gets to a point where you just have to have faith in them and let them do what they do and not try and be, I guess, too restrictive or controlling with what they do.
Yep.
Like my marketing guy, I know he knows 1,000 times more than me.
Yep.
So I just let him do what he thinks is best rather than me telling him we should do this and that.
Yep.
I have my faith and my trust in him that his decisions will be better than my decisions.
Yeah, it's about hiring the right people.
Hiring people smarter than you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And every single person I've hired has always been smarter than me at doing X, Y, Z.
But that's the hallmark of a good business person.
Yep.
Like, you're not going to hire people below you just to enforce your thoughts.
Yeah.
You can do that.
Exactly.
Right?
I can
like,
do that. Yeah.
And it's just like, if you have enough time and enough labor, you can do that yourself. Whereas if you want to scale past what you're capable of or what your skill set is, you need like, I think every business person just becomes a good networker.
Yes.
Right. It's just like, who can I find? Like who not what.
Yeah.
Right? It's not what can I do. It's who can do it.
That's it. Yes. You're 100% right.
It's like, and I think that's for, at every point, whether it's your first 100K, your first 500K, your first mil, your first 5 mil, it's that who not how or who not what. Like who is the next person that allows me to get to that that next milestone. And for you, I from what I've seen at least, it's what's the next business, what's the next venture, who do I need on my team to make that happen,
to execute that. Yeah. You're so right.
How's that kind of gone from like transitioning from fitness to then like business to business fitness and selling the software, and then now going into like wealth creation and so on? How's that kind of expanded across the team? Have you had to look for different talent, or has it been multifactorial where the same people in one business can work in the other as well?
Yeah, bit of both. So my fitness company and my wealth network, they're two separate.
Yep.
And my fitness company, we've done pretty well, and we had this one guy there that used to work with us who helped my marketing guy. He was very good. He was a young guy, like amazing with what he did and what he needed to do. He then left, and then I had this idea many years later to create the wealth network and help other people make money in the online space. And I was like, fuck, I need someone to help me execute this. I need someone to be able to just own this, the back end, build the team of closers and setters, and just do everything. And I just focus on the front end. And funnily enough, it was this guy who used to work for my fitness company. His name's Akari. So I actually asked my marketing guy at the time, is Akari capable of helping me do this new business?
Yep.
And he said, yeah, 100%. So I went and I got him, and I explained to him what I want to do and what I want to achieve. He was 100% for it, came on board. One of the best decisions I've ever made.
Yeah.
He works with speed. I need something done, it's done right away.
Yeah.
We needed more appointment setters, he got them right away. We needed more closers, he got them right away.
Every business needs an Akari.
Oh, every business needs an Akari. His level of execution and his speed of execution is fast. Any problem, he sorts it. He works 24/7 like me. There is no switching off unless he's asleep.
Yeah.
So it's so good to have someone like that. So it's just me and him that run it essentially. And he takes care of all the back end. I take care of all the front end. And yeah, we're doing pretty well with it. And we've got so much room to grow and so much room to scale. And it just worked out perfectly that he was the perfect guy for it.
From that, like if we look at that room to scale, is that coming from a place of like automation systems, or is it just community growth, or where's the biggest opportunity for scale for you?
Bit of both. I feel like I've got a pretty big audience and community. So I guess the main places that we could improve on is systems. It's, getting more leads in. It is increasing our closing rate.
Yep.
Having our appointment setters book more appointments. But I do think, building that overall community and exposure is going to help tremendously as well, because essentially that is just more social proof for the audience and the people that follow you. So there's so many different metrics within the business that we can increase on.
Yeah.
But I guess like none of them are really a problem at the moment, but we can definitely increase them all.
Yeah.
We can get more leads. We can increase our closing rate. We can get more growth. We can build a stronger community.
How long has the business been? Like, is it still in its infancy? Like,
So I think it's 5 or 6 months.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So there's really not enough long-term data yet to go, okay, well, where's the close rate going wrong? Or where are the closes going wrong? Like, could we improve this portion of our scripting? Like, and that's just time and data that's going to have to happen.
Exactly.
Like, you can't out-time time. Like, it's just going to have to do its thing. With, I'm curious, just the setters component of this, I'm assuming the setters you're using across all facets of most of these businesses. Where have you found like the most success with setters in general? Of like, do you train them in-house or do you external that?
So, and I don't use any setters for my fitness company because we're just low ticket only.
Yep. Okay. Why is that?
That's just work for me. I've tried high ticket with my fitness company, but we struggled.
Would that be just your market is like, are they your younger market or a less like social?
Yeah, and I think I'm known as a $7 guy.
Okay.
I'm $7 a week to join my program,
Yep.
get a meal plan, get a workout program, get everything you need for $7 a week.
Yep.
My audience knows that. Everyone knows that. So to convert someone as a high ticket client, it's very hard because you're like, oh, just sign up for the $7 and try that first.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like, what are they actually getting extra?
What's different?
Accountability, coaching calls. Yeah, I'll just try the meal plan and workout program first.
But even then, it's like, I completely understand this. If you have enough volume in low ticket, it's like, why would you give your time or someone else's time even that you have to pay to do coaching calls, accountability? It's null and void.
So we have tried high ticket a few times, but we haven't done too well. So we've just cut it and just focused on the low ticket because we make a lot more money from the low ticket. We just, we get 50 to 60 clients per day.
Yep.
And
I think that's crucial, man. Like you knowing your market and going, well, maybe the ego would suggest like, oh, go the high ticket. It's more, exhilarating to see the big numbers come through in single transactions, but to know your market and go, well, fuck.
Yeah.
I'm just going to stay where I'm good.
Yep.
Right. And expand elsewhere in other businesses. I don't think many people have the control to do so.
No, yeah.
Because like that ego, that little, the devil on your shoulder starts to go, well, just put it up a little bit, just try. And often, man, like it goes 50-50, right? Like it's good. It's cool to see that you've kind of tested and gone, no, fuck it, we're going to stay here.
Yeah, so we've just been like, okay, we're going to do low ticket only. We've got, so no setters, no closers on the phone.
There's no need at that.
There's no need. We just sell it through a sales page.
Yeah.
Like low ticket, you just sell through a sales page.
Yep.
Mid ticket, maybe you need a VSL or a webinar. High ticket, you obviously need a phone. So yeah, we just sell them through the sales page and through ads. Now, my other businesses, Macroactive, there's a price point to sign up. So that's essentially high ticket. So we use DM outreach for that, appointment setters, and the Wealth Network is a high ticket business. So we use appointment setters for that. So yeah, it depends on the business, and it is a lot easier to sell business coaching at high ticket than transforming your physique.
Yeah. Because
people can transform their physique at a cheaper rate,
pretty quick,
know?
Yeah. I think there's beauty in that simplicity as well as the lower ticket stuff. Do you think that, like, from a fitness business perspective or even service in general, do you think that people should start with a low ticket first?
I think it depends on their audience size.
Yep.
If they have a small audience, I don't think they should do low ticket because they're not going to make much money. Like they've got the cap, and if they want to do well, they should do high ticket because there's more money coming in the door, essentially. They don't have much of an audience, so they probably won't have as much clients, so they can give more time. They can do maybe one-on-one calls.
Yeah.
They can do weekly check-ins. But someone with a big audience, hundreds of thousands or millions of followers, they are someone who can get away with the low ticket model. Yeah. Because if they're getting 100 sales a day and they're completely hands off, they can really scale that.
Yeah, if you have 1 million people with 10% conversion rate, like
Yeah.
100,000 people a year coming through paying you $7 a week, like,
Yeah.
and you don't have to touch it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to do sales calls either.
Yeah,
It makes
exactly.
total sense.
Yeah. So I think it depends on the audience size. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think there's like from experience, man, like expanding into other businesses, do you feel like the fitness business has set you up with like a work ethic that doesn't really come very common in business?
Yeah, definitely. Even the gym itself.
Yeah.
Like knowing that the harder you train and the more effort you put in the gym, the better your results are. Once you understand that, it's like a light bulb goes off in your head. Oh, the same thing for business then. The harder I work, the better my results could be.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like such an obvious thing, but a lot of people don't realize that. Or maybe they do, but they don't apply it.
Yeah.
But I think the gym itself, like lifting weights, building muscle, the amount of work and effort I put in had a result from that. So it made sense to me that I just do this exact same thing, but for business, and the more work and the more effort I put in, the better my results are going to be.
Yeah.
It's common sense at the end of the day,
Do
but I don't think a lot of
it
people...
stays that way.
Do I think it stays that way?
From my experience, it hasn't. Like the first 500K, you can hustle to. The first
Yep.
million, you can hustle to, right? But then it's like after that, it's like you can only work 18 hours a day before you, so many days in a row before you
Yeah.
just fucking burnt.
And then you need to get a little bit more strategic,
Yeah.
and you need to delegate a little bit more,
Yeah.
and you need people doing X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
I think the biggest game changer for me was I was too stuck in working in the business.
Yeah.
For me to grow and scale, I had to remove myself from the business as much as possible and work on the business instead of in the business.
Yeah. Totally agree.
That's the only way to really achieve
Any-
massive success, I guess.
Any degree of scale, really.
Yeah.
Like after some point of like where you can no longer give your own time, you need to step out a bit.
You do, yeah.
What's
Nothing great can ever be done on your own.
No, I agree.
You need a team. Like, even look at the pyramids. It might have been slaves, so probably a wrong thing
But
to
still-
use. But like the pharaoh, whatever, didn't build the pyramids himself.
No way.
He had to delegate to all these people to build the pyramids. If he tried to achieve it himself, there's no way it would have been done. You
And-
need to have a team, and you need to delegate to get them to do certain things.
Yeah. What's that look like for you now? Like a day in the life of you working not in the business but on it. How does that kind of play out, like day to day, week to week for you now?
My main thing that I'm trying to achieve now is just more overall growth and exposure. So podcasts like this is a great way for more growth and more exposure.
Yep.
Getting more mainstream. I think I'm fine with what I'm doing with my audience. Yes, you can always do better.
Yeah.
You can, always get more leads from your current audience. But the main thing that I'm really trying to understand right now is how to get more known and more exposure and more eyeballs. So everything I do is basically around content. But when I film more content, it just puts me in a position with more backup.
Yeah.
But every time you do post, you learn. Oh, that post didn't do too well.
Yeah.
I'll try something different. So it's constantly understanding these platforms, analyzing them, see what works, what doesn't work, adjusting things, changing things, getting feedback from the audience.
Yeah. Is that something you do often, as far as like just even looking at like the from the fitness coaching side of things? Do you like audit those clients at all to try and get feedback on how they've been engaging with you, how you could do better, or is that something you have tried in the past?
Yeah, so my team, we get feedback from all of our clients,
Cool.
what they like, what they don't like, what we could do better, what we could improve on.
Yep.
And we take all this feedback and we use it to, make our product better or make our service better. And I think that's valuable to get because you're literally asking the best person that you could ask.
Yeah.
They're the ones who are using it. They're the ones who are going through the program. They will give you the feedback that you need to hear to be able to make the changes that you need to make.
Yeah, absolutely. What's the, if we look at the iterations of Macroactive as it once was when you first started versus how it is now, how has it developed and changed over the years?
A lot. We have built so much to our platform and so much to our, entire software that our goal as a company is to remove as much manual work from the trainer yet still keep their meal plans and workout programs personalized. So this now allows them free time to create content and build a bigger business and get more clients. So our goal at Macroactive is basically just to remove the manual work. All of their meal plans, all of their workout programs are now 100% created through software based on their rules and their beliefs. My rules and my beliefs could be completely different to Bob's rules. Whatever Bob sets his rules for his diet and his training, his clients will get that. So essentially, his client will get a meal plan and a workout program exactly as if he was to manually create it.
Yep.
If someone got my meal plan, they'll get it exactly as if I was to manually create it.
Yep.
Because of my rules that I've set.
Yep.
And we just keep adding to our platform to make it just, uncomparable to any other of our competitions.
Yep.
You can track your water intake even. You can track what weights you lift in the gym. You can put your before and after photos and put your before weight and after weight, and it gives you a graph of how you're progressing.
Yep.
Females can track their periods in our app now. Like, we're doing everything in our app just to make it everything that client needs in order to achieve their goals. And now all of these trainers can just white label that to their audience and still offer personalized meal plans and workout programs.
And I'd assume at the very beginning it wasn't that advanced. It wasn't that...
Nah. And with software, there's always problems. And you only learn as you go. So, like, we've spent millions developing this software.
Yep.
Like, go to get an app built, and you think it's like 10K, but it's like, you realize it's like 60K.
Yeah, the first iteration is going to be 100 grand at least.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And we've spent millions developing our software, so we're essentially giving people a multi-million-dollar app for next to nothing.
Yeah.
Now, there's so many problems that you just don't experience or you don't even realize. For example, a client signs up, they put in their stats, the software works out how much protein, carbs, fats they need based on the trainer's rules.
Yep.
It creates them a meal plan. We were getting meal plans, and it said, okay, meal 1, steak and potatoes. Not that that's wrong, but no one's really want to have steak and potatoes for breakfast, right?
Yeah, not many in the general public at least.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, that's a problem. Now we have to make it so steak or potatoes can never end up in meal 1.
Yep.
But foods that can be in meal 1 could be oats, protein powder, yogurt, banana,
eggs, etc.
etc.
Yeah.
Just to make it more look like a proper meal plan.
Yeah.
Like a problem like that you would never even think of.
Yeah.
You just think, okay, these are the macros, put food to make it hit these macros. But when you get steak and potatoes for breakfast, guys like me and you could, because we'll eat what we're told to eat.
Absolutely, yeah.
But the general public, they're like, I don't want to eat potatoes for breakfast.
Yeah.
So like, okay, have to put another rule in. And there's just so many rules that we've had to apply at a later date that you wouldn't even think of firsthand.
Yeah, it's only you can only find through experience, through going through the trenches to do it. And I think that's like business in general, bro. Like you there's no way you're predicting out 6 months, a year. You can have goals, you can have like forward projections financially, but man, shit can hit the fan very fucking quick.
Yep, definitely.
You just have to figure out how to work through it. Are you finding now that like 10 years, probably 15 years in the game now, that your problem solution cycle is just fucking quick? Like you've just found this way to just work in chaos and go, nah, I can go. Yep.
And you almost need a little bit of chaos.
Yeah. I operate well in chaos. Like,
me too. It's weird.
Yeah.
And if you execute and you put out fires and you fix problems fast, it's actually a good feeling.
Yeah. It just gives you proof, bro.
I've
got undeniable, it's tattooed on the side of my neck, bro, because every time there's a problem, I just stack undeniable proof that I can do what I want to do, or that I can do what I say I will do.
Yep.
And it's, man, that game of business for me has been fucking character building 101. Like, you learn some pretty hard tasks, hard lessons along the way.
You do. And I think everyone's got a default mindset. And when they have a problem, all they do is they just think, oh, this doesn't work because this problem and this problem. And they just keep finding problems. I'm like, just stop looking at what's wrong and just try and find a solution to fix that problem.
Yep.
Instead of like, oh, this is wrong because this person set it up this way. Like all these reasons for why the problem is not solving the problem.
No.
So now I'm in the mindset that when there's a problem, just try and be 100% on focused how to fix that problem.
Yeah. Yeah, the
And I
solution
think,
is the solution to the problem is the actual problem.
yeah,
Like you
yeah,
have to focus on the fucking thing.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I think people just focus on the problem.
Yeah, and they stuck in this cycle of like victim, like
Yeah,
fuck this, this
victim,
issue,
that's
this
it.
issue, yeah.
And it's because this guy did this and he shouldn't have done this.
Yeah.
It's not going to
Blame
fix
somewhere
it.
else.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where's for you, bro? Like, where's some of these, like, I'm sure, like, as I said before, with scale comes complexities. As you've gotten bigger, have there been moments where you've gone like, oh fuck, like this problem is too big for me to handle, and you've gone almost been ready to throw in the towel where I'm like, fuck, can't do it?
No, I've never been ready to throw in the towel. I don't think we've had any like huge problems.
Good.
Touch wood.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I know whatever the problem was, there is always a solution. There's always a way to fix it. There's always a way to overcome it.
Yeah.
You just have to keep pushing forward and you have to find that solution.
Yeah. With now you're in this point of like pushing forward to new solutions because you're always finding new problems that are, albeit small or very, very manageable. Do you envision yourself now like branching out into even more businesses than you currently have?
I would like to, but at the same time, I wouldn't like to.
Yeah.
I would like to from the fact that I just love business and I just love creating stuff and grinding. But I know if you focus on too many things and your eggs are in too many baskets, your focus is too widely spread.
Agreed.
So for now, I don't plan on doing anything else. I just plan on putting my focus into what I have already, which I think is quite a lot.
Yep.
So even though I'd like to start something else, even if I have a great idea, I probably won't go and execute it because I think it would remove some of that focus and that work in these other businesses.
Yeah. What's the main focus right now out of all the businesses, all the things you're doing? What's the main thing you're trying to grow?
The wealth network is my main thing that I'm trying to grow at the moment.
Yep.
JRF is running pretty good. Macroactive is running pretty good and growing pretty strong. The team are handling them both pretty well. So I would say majority of my focus is on wealth network and then evenly distributed between JRF, my fitness company, and Macroactive, the software company.
Yep. With the wealth network, what's that customer journey look like? What's the problem you're really trying to solve for people there?
The main problem I'm trying to solve is I'm trying to help people escape the 9-to-5 and learn how to monetize their passion online and have that source of online income coming in so they can work from anywhere in the world, travel in anywhere in the world, and achieve that financial freedom.
Yeah.
Because for me, that's one of the best things in life, being able to travel anywhere in the world. I can go tomorrow to the Maldives if I wanted to and still work and still have money coming in.
Yep.
It's one of the best feelings, and I want to help everyone achieve that. And they can with this online space. There are so many different ways to make money, and I've made money many different ways online through social media, through affiliate marketing, through drop shipping. My business partner, Akari, he's got lots of experience in drop shipping and running ads and all this stuff as well. So all of his expertise is put out through this wealth network. And I'm trying to build a community. So it's not just a course, it's trying to build a community. So if someone needs someone to do something, someone else in the community might help them.
Yep.
So we've got the private Telegram channel. We've got many channels on like e-commerce, sales, affiliate marketing, social media.
Yep.
So say if someone needs a video editor for social media, they'll message in the Telegram channel. Hey, does anyone know a good video editor to edit fitness content? Myself or someone else in our network will be like, yeah, I know a guy, message this guy.
Yep.
We want that network. It's not what you know, it's who you know sometimes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to build. And then aside from that, we've got a complete course on everything I've done over the last 10, 12, 15 years, how to make money online. We do weekly coaching calls.
Yep.
People jump on. I answer all their questions on the call. We've got many done-for-you items. So everything I've used in my business, like we've got a 7-figure email funnel that we've used.
Yeah, cool.
They've got that. They just need to change the name in the business. We've got our persuasive DM outreach script. Copy the exact script.
Yep.
We've got plug and play marketing playbook. We've got plug and play Facebook ads. We've got everything.
Yep.
We've got so many done for you items. So these people can just literally copy my stuff and grow and scale their business.
I think that's like I've looked into doing a lot of like white labeling stuff. It's like all the systems we've used within building my company and doing what we've done. But there's so much more power in going business to business. One, from a impact perspective and financial reward perspective, like you can always charge businesses far more than you can charge an individual. But also you can actually help the compounding effect, like their clients that they help or the things that they do, whether it be service or product. Let's say the product services a need, like it starts to grow and compound so much bigger than what an individual business can. White labeling thing, it's clearly worked with Macroactive. You've taken what you've done with fitness, you've white labeled that to other fitness businesses. Now going down that road where you're essentially white labeling the system of your life, so to speak, of how you've gone through every avenue of every point to make some cash. I feel like a lot of people are going to be in a position where they look at that and go, well, fuck, overwhelm, right? Like there's so many options because there's so many ways to make money online. Out of the people that are in that wealth network, where has been the biggest leverage points, or what industries have done the most revenue or been the most successful for people?
Yeah, well, I'd easily say online training. And it's probably because I've got such a big online training following of other coaches.
Yeah, it's probably a skewed data point there.
Yep, skewed data point. I've also got Macroactive, which is full of online trainers. We've got 700 trainers on our platform. We've got 700,000 end users under our trainers. We've got multiple trainers that have done more than $1 million in revenue. We've got many trainers doing more than 100K a month. So skewed data point, but I'd say online trainers probably. But I think remove online trainers. I think probably just selling a high ticket service.
Whatever it might be, but as long as you can warrant that higher price point. Like if you're selling a $3,000 thing and you're selling 2 of them a week, that's $6,000. That's a lot of money to a lot of people. Oh man, for most people operating out of on their own, $6,000 would be unheard of. Would be especially in a 9-to-5 position. Trying to leave that, man, $2,000 a week for most people, after tax, would be life changing. And it's, I feel like that, we are in the place of the future, really, of online wealth. And it's everywhere. Here in Dubai, it's very easy to see that people are making lots of big moves, a lot of capital intensive moves here to try and grow things online. But it's cool to see that you guys are actually bringing it back for the people that are trying to escape that 9-to-5 and build something for themselves. Do you have any advice for people that are in that 9-to-5 that really want to get out? What's the start? What's the steps?
Yeah, honestly, the easiest way to start is just to start. People need to take action, but everyone's always scared of taking action. And everyone's scared of taking risks. But I honestly believe not taking a risk is the biggest risk that you can take because you're going to be in the same position in the next 10 years working your 9-to-5 job that you don't hate. So I think not taking a risk is the biggest risk. Sometimes people just need to take a risk and go all in with something and try it. And, if you're at an age under 35 and you don't have a family that you need to support, it's a perfect time to take these chances and these risks. Because you can always start again, Maybe if you're 45 and you've got a family that you need to support, there's a little bit more consideration and thought that needs to go in it. But at the same time, you can still start an online hustle. You can still start an online business. Okay, you work from 9 to 5, but what do you do from 5 to 9? You're not sleeping that whole time.
Not a chance.
So what you do from 5 to 9 is going to determine how successful you be. If you put that time into starting an online business or an online hustle and you keep trying until something works, you'll eventually find something. And once you can find something that is going to replace your 9-to-5 income, then you can step away and go all in on that side hustle and make it your main hustle.
I think there's definitely that cross point of you have to take the leap eventually, but not until you've got that replaced income. But the thing is, like you said, it's a guaranteed your circumstances will be the same if you stay where you are. Right? At least on the other end, it's a 50-50 chance you succeed. It's a 50% better. Right? And I think that's even coming back to what we said before, those people that are stuck on the gym floor, right? They're trying to go online, right? You have to fucking take that leap eventually and just go, because otherwise you're just going to trade time for money forever. And it's, man, I couldn't imagine doing it now.
No, neither.
I didn't tell you this before. I've got a gym back home, but it's private. Just for me and my staff, right? We don't have clients come through. We don't have anything. And I walk through that place, man. I've kitted it out really well. I love training, but couldn't imagine training people here. So thank you.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of those things that if had I not taken that leap, I was in a good life, like in a commercial gym. And had I not taken that leap to go all online, I would have never be here.
Never. Yeah.
Like,
you're capped with your time.
40 hours a week max.
Yep.
Like, do 35 sessions.
Yep.
You're done. Right? Like, just the overwhelm of people as well, bro. Like, I'm sure you experienced it back working in the gym. Like, the amount of different conversations you have to hold throughout a week.
Yes.
It's draining.
And then also, if you love training yourself, but you're in the gym all day training people, when it comes to your own workout, it's almost like you just want to leave the gym because you've sucked all your energy there from giving it all to your clients.
100%. I'm way past that.
So being able to step out of the gym has allowed me to, still enjoy going to the gym to train.
Yeah.
And
I think that's like one of the big gifts that we have is like running business that allows us to live our lifestyle now. Yep. And like, there's not many people that I feel like will maybe ever get that chance. Is there anything, some closing words for people that, like, if they're in that thought process, should I start a business? Should I not? Any closing thoughts for people that just to motivate them to go?
Yeah, there's a quote that I like. It's from Michael Jordan, I think. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So if you don't even take a shot, you're never going to change. You're not going to get the opportunity. So you may as well just take a shot, try something. Hey, if it doesn't work, try something else. And if you can base something around your passion or your hobby or something that you enjoy, you're most likely going to be successful at it in some way because you actually enjoy what you're doing. You're going to continue trying to find a way to make it work.
Yep.
Like I said before, I'm not saying go and quit your 9 to 5 tomorrow and hope for something. Start a side hustle.
Yeah.
No one doesn't have time in their day. Everyone can dedicate 2 hours a day to starting a side hustle.
Fully agree.
You do 2 hours a day, 7 days a week, that's 14 hours a week. Do that for a month, you should be able to have something up and running. Once you have it at a level where you're comfortable with the income, you can replace it with your 9 to 5 and you can go all in. But if you don't take that chance, don't ever expect anything to change.
Couldn't agree more, man. Thank you for jumping on the pod today. Where can people find you? What do you have going on in your world, and where can they get involved with all of what you've got going on?
Thank you very much for having me. It's been a great chat. You can find me anywhere on social media. I'm on all the platforms: Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Snapchat, Twitter, you name it. Easiest way to find me is just search my name, Josef Rakich, Josef Rakich.
Excellent. Man, if you guys want, check out Macroactive. We'll put the links below. And thank you again, man. We look forward to seeing you soon. Do all the liking, comment, subscribe.